What is going on, y'all? It is Monday, January 27th, and we are back at Bottom of the Sixth. I'm Dominic Pasella here with
Ashton Sharon.
Madison Holder.
And how has everybody's been? How was your MLK weekend? We were off. What's been going on?
I had an awful night last night. I feel so bad for Josh Allen. That's all I can say. I might have shed real tears. I was a bit embarrassed. And then I turned my TV off and went to bed very upset.
Yeah, I mean, look, I was actually okay with the result of that game. You know, I think Patrick Mahomes is doing things, you know, that we haven't seen since Brady left. And, you know, I think
that we've never seen, actually.
Yeah, or things that we've never seen, which could potentially be a three-peat. And I think getting a dynasty back-to-back, like what we're kind of getting right with Brady and now Mahomes, where there's just one real dominant team, you know, to me, that's rare, right? I mean, you look back, you're like Montana won 4 Super Bowls, you know, and that's great and all, but Brady won 7, and, you know, Mahomes is already on his way to his 4th, potentially. So I think what we're seeing here is incredible. I mean, yeah, Josh Allen, he put up a hell of a fight, but, you know, all hats off to Patrick Mahomes and this Kansas City team. I mean, I think Chris Collinsworth really, you know, he knew what he was talking about.
It's so hard for me to separate the art from the artist and, like, credit Kansas City and all that they're doing because I strongly dislike them so much. I voiced that this whole season, like, every time we have this show. It's so hard for me.
This is the bad ending for Madison Holder.
It's a really bad ending. The Natty was even worse. We just won't cover that. Oh, my gosh. It's
Will
just
Howard, congrats, man.
It's a bad year for me all around, I think. I think maybe the whole
2025 just started. You're saying it's a bad year.
Bad football season. Is that a better term?
No, 2025, it's over. Hang it up.
Okay, 2026, here I come. No, it's just pretty bad. I think I might have, like, held on to hope the whole season that the Chiefs just wouldn't make it because I didn't want them to. But also, they didn't perform well this season, in my opinion. I've said that many times, but I think most of their games, they were really close. I actually calculated today, nearly 58% of their wins this year were within a margin of 7 points. They only won by, like, a score or less. And I think it just comes down to time management with them. I think that this whole year they performed worse than teams like the Bills, like the Ravens. Sucks that those teams couldn't prove themselves when it mattered, in my opinion. But I think that that's what sucks for me, is because I feel like teams like that did perform better. The Chiefs were out here having games within they beat the Broncos by 2 points. They beat the Raiders by 2 points. They beat Carolina by 3 points. Like, scores that close. That all came down to field goals within the last few minutes of those games. I just think it's clock management. And there are calculated drives and there's calculated clock management. And I can't discredit that, because if that's what's winning them their games and that's what got them to the Super Bowl, that's what got them there. But it's a hard pill to swallow for me.
Well, also, you have to chalk it up to their defense. This is the Kansas City's first time scoring more than 30 points in a game all season. They've scored exactly 30 a couple times. This is their first time scoring above 30 points. So you have to chalk it up to that defense, Chris Jones and the squad. But, I mean, I think that it's just the Chiefs know what they are. They know that they're just going to basically win no matter what. So you might as well kind of play down a team's levels, pick up a win, and then do it where it really matters, and that's the playoffs. And in the playoffs, Patrick Mahomes is inevitable. That's
I think
just a
so
fact.
too, especially against the Bills. I think that Josh Allen, every year, we know it's the same old story. I've always kind of thought that he couldn't get it done. I thought this year would be different based on his regular season performance, but they've had 8 meetings, these two teams, since the 2021 AFC Championship. Buffalo has won all 4 games in the regular season, and Kansas City has won all 4 in the postseason, and that's what matters, unfortunately. So I think that the Bills just couldn't get it done, which hurt my heart, but maybe one day.
And I think there was so much discourse all year that Mahomes needs to hang it up. Allen's the new best QB in the league. And, I mean, there were a lot of people saying that Mahomes was done because Lamar, Allen, and Burrow all had way better regular seasons. Hell, Aaron Rodgers had a better regular season than Mahomes. So you look at that and you're like, okay, maybe Mahomes doesn't have the juice anymore. And then he comes out, he has 245 yards, he only threw 26 passes. That's all he needed to do to win. And it's like they controlled the clock, they controlled the game, and they got it done. And it's just, I don't know, so weird to see. Same Super Bowl again from 2 years ago. Exact same teams, except Jason Kelce's not on there.
I mean, it's crazy, because this is kind of what I've been saying, is Patrick Mahomes is a different beast in, you know, the playoffs, right? throw out every regular season stat, that means nothing in the playoffs. All right, it doesn't. Daniel Jones had 23 touchdowns in the regular season, and against Philly threw 2 or 3 interceptions. I'm saying the stats mean nothing. Jared Goff was a great quarterback in the regular season, and he didn't play great in the playoffs. I'm just saying, Josh Allen did not get outperformed in any facet by Patrick Mahomes. Okay,
totally
and I don't want that to kind of be what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is the Chiefs find ways to win because they are a really damn good football team. All right, and I'm tired of hearing the ref excuse because yes, while they maybe get some good calls, that's just because they're a good team. Think about it. Juju Smith-Schuster was the second leading receiver on this team. Travis Kelce had 19 yards.
And yet
Juju Smith-Schuster had 60 yards.
The game.
I mean, if that doesn't show you how stacked this Kansas City Chiefs team is and how good they are, it just, hey, maybe our top guy's not on it. Hell, let's just throw our 5th string wide receiver out there and see what he could do. I mean, that's why the Chiefs are so good.
And the Kareem Hunt's been washed since 2017. I barely heard his name since he's been on the Browns, except when the Chiefs picked him up, and he had 64 yards. He was the leading rusher, had a touchdown. They just find guys.
He was their leading rusher, but that wasn't. I mean,
he only had
Bills
64 yards.
Definitely outperformed them in the run.
Oh well, 1,000%. James Cook had 85 yards, 2 touchdowns.
And that might be a great preview for the Super Bowl.
But
good news for me.
I don't know. Kareem Hunt. I mean, he was their leading rusher in the game, and obviously he didn't contribute that much. But I think it's the Chiefs. Andy Reid's way, at least, to just elevate guys. DeAndre Hopkins, who everybody thought needed to hang it up. Kareem Hunt's another example. Tyrann Mathieu, when he left the Saints, everybody was questioning his career. Did even better on the Chiefs. Now he's gone. Now he's not as good. And it's really, I don't know. As much as everybody wants to hate on the Chiefs and say, well, it's the refs, it's dark voodoo magic, it's this, it's that. I mean, I think it's just Andy Reid's system and his way to elevate his players, and that's what it is. The system's really good, and, I mean, Mahomes is just the perfect quarterback for that system. Not calling him a system quarterback. He's probably going to be the greatest of all time when it's said and done. Unfortunately, I think Brady still has it for a while, but I don't know.
I'm one of those can proudly say I was one of those people. I love to blame it on the refs, and usually I think it's an acceptable argument, but we were talking about this before the show. It wasn't really in that game. The calls were pretty even on both sides. I don't think that I could really call it that. I want to go back to Josh Allen did not get outperformed whatsoever. I think the Bills performed better on paper in a lot of aspects, but then you look at it, it's just Patrick Mahomes. He had 245 yards, he threw for a touchdown, and he rushed for 2. And he is literally the magic, I think, that just comes with that. He's just the magic of the franchise. I think that you just can't stop him, especially in the postseason. This whole season, when I was just keeping hopes high that he wouldn't make it, I was like, oh, no, you see how he's performing? And I did have people telling me all year, well, he's different in the postseason.
And they went 15-2.
Yeah.
A very quiet 15. Would have been 16-1, but they put the third stringers in that last game.
Yeah. So and another point, too, that I think,
it doesn't matter.
It was the Bills.
It was the Bills, but
that's another reason I said they were going to win, because usually they don't lose twice to the same opponent, especially when they play them again in the postseason. But the interesting stat that I always like to look at is, especially in Super Bowl matchups, I look at who has the better tight end, okay? Because believe it or not, I think your quarterback and your tight end are the two most important aspects of winning the Super Bowl, and a lot of people call me crazy, but here is the starting tight ends since 2015 for the Super Bowl winning teams, okay? He had Rob Gronkowski, future Hall of Famer, Owen Daniels, a 2-time Pro Bowler, Zach Ertz, a 3-time Pro Bowler, and in the prime of his career when he won it, Travis Kelce, a future Hall of Famer, and then the only guy here who maybe is not a future Hall of Famer and not a Pro Bowler, but still a very good tight end, Tyler Higbee. Outside of Tyler Higbee in the past 10 years, you have either had a future Hall of Famer or a multiple-time Pro Bowler as your tight end with that quarterback. I mean, it's a recipe for success.
I wholeheartedly agree. I think the tight end's a very slept-on position. I think, especially formation-wise, you need a guy that can block. You need a guy that can catch. They do it all. They're the multi-tool, the Swiss Army knife of an offense.
Well, I know a tight end that was sleeping last night, and it was Travis Kelce with 19 yards and 2 catches.
I mean, yeah, but his team still won. He's still a crucial part of that football team. Whether you hate him or you love him, whether you hate Taylor Swift or love Taylor Swift.
I mean, he draws double teams. I mean, that's...
I actually saw some crazy tweet today. I ended up on Taylor Swift Twitter somehow. I don't know what I was doing.
She's probably everywhere today.
So some girl, one of the Swifties, was confused about about like the AFC Championship. They're like, why are they doing a celebration? This isn't the Super Bowl. And some girl commented, I just thought this was funny. I'm going to bring it up for like 2 seconds. So she said, and I hate that I understood this. Basically, there's Evermore and Folklore. They're sisters, but different. That's the AFC and the NFC. Evermore and Folklore won their respective Grammy categories, and now they're competing for Album of the Year.
I love how I don't think anybody listening right now would understand that reference.
I don't think anybody's listening right now, to be honest. But
I understand the reference.
Yeah, I got it, and I read it, and I was like, wait a minute, that's good. And I'm like, no, I cannot get behind this. God.
Get me off Taylor Swift Twitter.
God, and I like the tweet. I'm like, damn it, I'm going to be stuck here for the rest of my life now.
I feel like we're all going to be stuck there. If the Chiefs keep winning, then she's not leaving the screen, unfortunately. And I'm not a Taylor Swift hater, but
we're gonna be in an oligarchy of Taylor Swift, Patrick Mahomes, and Travis Kelce.
No, I think the Chiefs defense really stood up during that game. Obviously, they had big plays. That Dalton Kincaid play at the end of the game was just heartbreaking.
He is awful, dude. Dalton
Don't
Kincaid
go Dalton Kincaid awful.
He's not a good tight end.
But
it wasn't a great pass. Like, I'm not discrediting Josh Allen.
But
it was in his hands.
And I put my head
That's just
down.
That's not a throw where you can hate the receiver for not making it. Yes, it's unfortunate
I can hate him for dropping it.
Yeah, but like it wasn't a clear drop. Like there, 8 times out of 10, that's not getting caught unless you have like prime Marvin Harrison. Like I don't know.
It was a great effort from Josh Allen and Dalton Kincaid, even
or
though he
Amon-Ra
dropped
St.
it, to had to throw him in there.
Yeah.
It was a great effort on both sides to try to avoid the blitz, but Kansas City's defense just got the best of them.
I mean, they brought two down, and I mean, well, way more than 2, but like 2 secondary players down, and yeah, you can't stop that. They're just a lot faster. They were unblocked, and Josh Allen just had no time.
He's usually a good rusher too. He's so big that he's pretty good at it, but it just wasn't enough. It was really upsetting. But
let's talk about good rushers.
Yeah.
Actually, Ashton.
Will Shipley, man, he is the number 1 running back for the Eagles. I mean, wow. I mean, this guy is incredible, all right? The kid from Clemson, I mean, what a season this kid's had, right? I mean, big touchdown, really helping them beat the Commanders.
Got it done in the 4th quarter.
Yeah. I mean, look, this number 26 guy, I mean, I don't really know who he is. But, he's okay.
Ashton, so Will Shipley's the best. He's their best running back.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Can I hear the stats from their running backs last night, by chance?
Look, Will Shipley, 4 carries, 77 yards, and a touchdown. I mean, that's really good.
Better than the Chiefs running backs did.
Jalen Hurts, 10 for 16. Goddard, 2 for 13. Gainwell, 3 for 8.
I feel like we're missing
Pickett, 2
Goddard had 2
3.
rushes?
Yeah, for 13 yards.
Wow. I feel like we're missing.
Gainwell got hurt, right?
We're missing something.
Yeah. So that's why, Will Shipley had to come back in the 4th.
Yeah, they really needed Kenneth Gainwell. They really needed Will Shipley.
Yeah,
but
I know a certain number 26 that had 15
I don't know who that is.
for 118 yards and 3 touchdowns. I think he.
That's a
Madison. I think you're talking about the wrong game.
Yeah,
he's on the Giants.
Yeah, he's Will Shipley wannabe. Come on.
I think he scored the first play of their first offensive play of the game. Am I wrong?
I'm pretty sure that was Will Shipley. No?
Were you watching the right game?
If anybody is confused, that was Saquon Barkley, who Ashton has a vendetta against. After he left his team, or after
kind of washed,
you guys got rid of him. I feel like you should be blaming Joe Shane for that. Maybe not.
So we actually offered him. We actually offered him a contract that his agent said he would accept, and then Joe Shane was like, "All right, like fine, like." I agree, I'll accept it. And then he basically was told, like, yeah, nah, like we're not taking it anymore. And he's like, oh, okay.
I think Joe Shane just invested in the wrong tools for what they have over there.
Daniel Jones.
But, yeah.
So that was actually John Mara, but,
And, yeah. Okay, well, yeah, Saquon Barkley. Let's talk about
giving
Saquon.
Daniel Jones a $40 million a year contract.
I will give Barkley his credit. I mean, he has been incredible this year. 3 touchdowns. I mean, he's proven to be a real factor and the best running back in the league. I think he's finally in a place where he should be. I think as much as I do hate him for leaving the Giants, I think that was the best move, believe it or not, for both sides. I think the Giants are in a position where they need to rebuild, and I think if they had Barkley, that would have hurt them in that category. Barkley's in a position
to
Barkley is now in a place, and I think this is where it's good for him to win, right? He's in a place that's already set, and with a good offensive line, I think that's what's going to really help him. They have a great defense. Jaden Daniels, I mean, hats off to him. I think he's still really played very well. And Tress Way, shout out to you for a 23-yard completion. But, at the end of the day, the Eagles were just a much better team, and they won. But yeah, I still think Jayden Daniels. I mean, this was a great season for him, and he has
1,000%.
nothing to be ashamed of whatsoever.
No,
He still had 250 yards and a touchdown. Like, it wasn't what he didn't really define the game. I mean, there were two Eagles scores.
It was their defense.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he led a scoring drive. It was 14-12. Next time he was on the field, it was 27-14 Eagles. Yeah. So like he didn't really have much say in it, and that's unfortunate, especially with the kick return being fumbled. It sucks for the kid. I mean, obviously they were gonna get rolled no matter what.
It's so unfortunate because the Commanders took out the Lions, and then
I still think the Detroit Lions would have won this game.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's just not even talk about it. It hurts, but then they proceeded just.
I don't want to hear it hurts from you, Madison.
They just, true. I didn't cry.
All right, we're not going to talk about who cried, who didn't cry.
They proceeded to
we got noise
kind of embarrass themselves. I mean, Jayden Daniels didn't embarrass himself in any aspect. Jayden Daniels had an incredible season for a rookie. Definitely offensive rookie of the year in my book. I hope he takes that title home.
Nah, Caleb's got it.
He is definitely the best rookie quarterback they had. And I think I was saying in the offseason, I mentioned this a few times. During the offseason, I was saying the Commanders are really winning. They won with picking people up. They got Zach Ertz in the offseason, Austin Eckler. I was like, these are all really good additions to their team. And I was saying this is kind of going to be like a rebuilding year for them. I can see them doing pretty well, having a mediocre season. This is going to be a lot of getting used to new aspects to this team, but it looks like they're building something strong in Washington. And then they went this far, which I never would have expected, especially from a rookie quarterback like Jayden Daniels. But what he did was crazy. His rushing ability, I think broke several records for a rookie. I think it was the most most rush yards by a rookie quarterback in NFL history.
I think he broke Lamar's record for it.
Yeah, he's electric, and I can't wait to see what else he does. He didn't embarrass himself in any aspect in this game because he shouldn't have even been there. Honestly, they shouldn't have been there. Yeah. Like, nobody expected them to, so his performance wasn't bad at all.
Can't blame the quarterback for having the opposing team drop 55 on your head.
No, and
55 to 23. Have we ever seen like a waxing like that in the playoffs?
Fun fact, in this game, the 55 points is the most points scored, I think, since like 2007. I want to say. I saw that today. It's crazy. Or it's the most scored ever. I don't know. There is a record there, though. It's crazy. But the Commanders were just doomed. They had 4 turnovers. You can't win a game when you're making mistakes like that, fumbles and things like that. And also, I just don't think their arsenal was as equipped as Philadelphia's was.
So most in the playoff game since 2000. Okay. Most ever was the Bears beating the Washington Redskins. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Washington Redskins 73-0 in the 1940 NFL championship game. So like 1940 before the merger, back when they were in like leather helmets and stuff. Doesn't count.
What I saw.
But like 73-0 is insane BTA.
Absolutely.
Commanders. So the Commanders lost that game, right? All those years ago. Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Oh. History repeats itself, I guess.
I guess so. But then January 15th, 2000, the Jaguars beat the Dolphins 62-7.
Wow.
Waxing.
So the Eagles are up there with points for
Eagles,
this game.
yeah.
Can we just agree, though, that
7th most playoff points in a playoff game in NFL history?
The Eagles, here's the thing about the Eagles. I feel like their arsenal is like more equipped than Washington, obviously, but their receiving game, I feel like it's not as good as it should be. It's good, but like it's Saquon Barkley.
They still have A.J. Brown.
I know.
And Devontae Smith, who won the Heisman.
I know.
They're two great receivers.
I know, but I feel like they haven't been performing as well as they should be for who they are. I don't have
Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown hate each other.
I'm pretty sure they're really good friends.
No, they had beef all season.
Wasn't that when he was like, isn't that what you guys want to see? Wasn't that what that was about?
Well, it was because A.J. Brown literally said he's not getting enough targets, and then they were upset. And then, like, you could tell on the sidelines, like, there was tension. But I think there was a lot of media spin, too. But, Devontae Smith has been pretty fine throughout that. But, yeah, A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts definitely had a little something going on in the season.
They have good receivers. I just don't think their receiving game is where it should be. But I think that Saquon is their arsenal. Also, can we sidebar here? Saquon, obviously in the finalists for MVP, I was shocked that Derrick Henry did not make it into the finalists.
Who would you replace in the top 5? Don't say Jared Goff.
I was going to say Joe Burrow. I feel like I would rather see Derrick Henry
Burrow
there.
is unreal.
Burrow had insane.
I know, but also I just think like he was I guess like maybe you couldn't trade any of those spots, but Derrick Henry, the season he had for how old he is, that was what I liked about him this season.
Okay, but we can't have the LeBron argument. Like, yeah, he's doing it at a specific time, but it doesn't matter.
But Joe Burrow led the league in passing yards, touchdowns, and was third in QBR. Like, I just don't think you could take him out.
Yeah.
True.
If you want to talk about most valuable, Joe Burrow. I mean, that Bengals team would have gone probably like 3-15 or 3-14.
Yeah, I guess. I was definitely just disappointed to not see Derrick Henry there because, like I was just saying, not to pull like the LeBron argument, but what he did for his age was insane. That's why I liked him a little more than Saquon, like what he was doing during the season, because I was like, wow. I mean, they didn't have equal seasons, but he was doing great stuff in Baltimore, and that's his first season with a new team. He's so much older. Everyone thought he was washed, and so I was sad to not see him in the finalists.
And yeah, most of the season, I mean, Saquon and Derrick Henry were pretty on par, dude.
I agree.
They were doing great all year, but Saquon really pulled away with it at the end of the year.
Yeah, he's only like the ninth running back in NFL history to have over 2,000.
Oh yeah, SB2K. It's crazy. I think who was the last one? I don't think McCaffrey ever had it. No, McCaffrey last year was the rushing leader with like 1,300 yards, and everybody thought the running back position was dead. We shouldn't pay running backs, and Saquon just proved a lot of people wrong. I think he just saved the market. So any running back that's looking at Saquon Barkley should say thank you, because you're about to start getting big contracts again. You're going to start seeing, hopefully, running backs go in the first, second rounds again. And, I mean, look at what happened with Jahmyr Gibbs. He was a first-round pick. Everybody in Detroit hated that pick, and he's doing great for the team, man. So
yeah,
Saquon, might see that.
He is their star, obviously, in Philadelphia. It's going to be battle of Patrick Mahomes versus Saquon Barkley, in my opinion.
Let's get into it.
Yep, let's do it.
The red and green Super Bowl logo.
The superstition, if you will.
Yeah.
Let's get into Super Bowl predictions. Who wants to start us off?
I'm not, because I'm not watching the game.
Just say something. We all know you're going to watch it.
I don't care.
We all know you're going to watch it.
No, there's not. I think
you are. I'm going to see a post from you on every social media platform. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this team won. And
why would I say I can't believe this team won? I know what's going to happen. We all know what's going to happen.
Don't say that.
We all know the dark voodoo magic that's
I thought you said earlier that we can't credit it to dark voodoo magic.
Okay, well,
you don't.
31-17 Chiefs win.
Whoa!
They're up. They win by 2 scores.
Yep. I think.
I just do not think Jalen Hurts is, nevertheless, top 5 quarterback. I don't think Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL.
Let's hear your
I can name you 10 quarterbacks that are better than
name me 10.
Jalen Hurts.
I have
right
my
now.
fingers up. Go.
All right,
name
hold on.
10.
Here, I'll look up the teams. You got Patrick Mahomes, Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield, Matt Stafford, Herbert, Prescott.
Prescott, whoa!
Lamar Jackson.
How many NFC championships?
Dak Prescott led the league in passing yards 2 years ago.
Okay, but he's
touchdowns.
Are we not okay?
The injury. Season. Let's talk about the injury bug though. Hurts has never sustained like a long-lasting injury.
You think Dak Prescott's better?
Dak Prescott
is
not better than Jalen Hurts,
stop.
Dude.
Okay, we got 4 more. I need 4 more.
Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
Did you say Josh Allen already?
Josh Allen.
Don't help.
No, I'm just.
Well, I mean,
I was gonna get there. I mean, let's.
I don't know. If
I would take Jordan Love over him. I think Jordan Love is a pure passer is better. So
okay.
Jordan
Jared
Love
Goff is better than him.
And then I think and if I'm going pure passers,
if I'm going
full career,
Herbert's
not
good.
just based on this year. If I'm going full career,
then
I go Aaron Rodgers.
We've pivoted because he can't find 10 from this year.
Yeah,
so
we're talking full career, bro.
Bo Nix. I take Bo Nix as a pure passer. As a pure passer, I take Bo Nix over Jalen Hurts any day of the week.
Okay, everybody, I want you all. Can anybody hear me? 2 weeks ago, Ashton was sitting here saying how awful Bo Nix was and that he was awful and he was a bad quarterback.
Bo Nix.
And he said, "Oh my gosh, Oregon quarterbacks like Bo Nix are awful and he should never have been in the postseason." I don't want to sit here and I don't want to sit here and listen to you talk about
I won't
Bo
go back
Nix
on that
is
take, but
good.
I still think
I ain't gonna lie, y'all.
If I was building a team tomorrow and you told me who I want as a pure passer, I am taking Bo Nix. I'm telling you right now, I think if Bo Nix was on the Philadelphia Eagles, he has a better season than Jalen Hurts, and it's not even close.
We have 3 minutes left. Let's get off this rage bait topic.
I'm going to go 30-24 Eagles. Yep, I said it.
30-24 birds.
Here's my
You love the delusion.
Yeah, okay,
here's
my
takeaways
here.
Woman.
Whoa.
No, well, it's just like you're a delusional man.
Not.
No, I didn't mean like you're a woman.
Okay,
no.
You heard it here first.
No.
Dom Pasella arguing with me, attacking girl
I am
on
not,
podcast.
no.
Anyways,
it's not a podcast, it's a radio show.
Radio show, even worse. I'm going to broadcast.
Not what I meant.
Okay, Eagles over Chiefs 30-24. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. Their defenses are both going to line up. The Eagles, I definitely think, have the better defense going into this. I think that Saquon Barkley is just going to run the Chiefs into the ground. I think that Chiefs are going to try to fight their way back. I don't think they're going to get there. I think, even if it's not this exact number, 30-24, Eagles will win by a score. I don't think it's going to come down to the clock management that has saved the Chiefs all season, because I think that the Eagles are playing on another level. And I'm excited to see it no matter what, but I am going to stick with the idea that I've had all season, where I'm like, oh, Chiefs aren't going to win, because I have to stick to my roots. And
that's fair.
I'm going to keep up the high hopes that they're not going to make it.
I got 35-32 Chiefs probably. I got some Eagles Hail Mary gets called back. They try it again and gets intercepted. That's game. Travis Kelce runs out on the field. Taylor Swift comes down. He proposes.
Is she gonna perform in the halftime show?
No.
You're on Taylor Swift Twitter. I feel like you'd know.
I'm not. Oh my God! I saw one tweet. No, I mean Kendrick and SZA are gonna tear the house down, man. That is gonna be a really fun
Claims that have
show.
come out of this show today. Dom hated on me because I'm a girl.
I did not.
And
I was
he's
just
also
saying
on
like you're
Taylor
delusional.
Swift Twitter.
I didn't mean
it.
Like. Yeah, because you think that the Chiefs are gonna lose. The Chiefs
what
don't
a
lose.
day for
Well,
Dominic.
you know.
Unfortunate. Unless it's to Brady or Burrow.
I mean, I'm just wowed that you think Jalen Hurts is a good enough quarterback to give him 32
Stop
points
talking
in the Super
about
Bowl.
Bo Nix. That's
I
the
mean,
end
wow.
of this show.
I mean, I would take Will Howard.
They just
over
got
Jalen
55
Hurts.
in the NFC Championship.
I would take
55
Will Howard.
points.
55.
I
Okay.
would take Riley Leonard.
I'm also
over
going to say,
Jalen
We're
Hurts.
not-
I fear
oh
like
my
a few
Jesus.
weeks ago you were hating on Will Howard as well. Until before he won the Natty, you were like, Will Howard's awful. I just hate him so much. I can't
Yeah.
believe
We're
he's
calling
the
him a
Lions'
civilian.
quarterback. You hate him.
Yes.
And I think it's funny that
Yes.
you came out so strong with this argument. I could name 10 quarterbacks better than Jalen Hurts. And
I
then
ended up naming 10.
halfway through, okay, actually I'm going to switch to career-wise
No,
because I
even
can't.
not career-wise,
Because
I
I
named 10.
can't name 10.
I named
But,
10.
Who knows? I'm excited to reflect on the Super Bowl when it happens, but I might not be.
Give me Michael Penix over Jalen Hurts.
No. Oh my gosh. Okay. I
Wait.
think that's enough for today.
Yeah, this
But
is
it
a
was
wrap.
so,
I can't
so
do
great
this
being back.
anymore.
What are we going to talk about next week? I don't know. There's no football.
Well, we can talk about the Pro Bowl games.
Yeah, we could talk
Actually,
about
yeah, let's
college.
talk
Hey, you know who
college hoops.
didn't make the Pro Bowl?
Who?
Patrick Mahomes.
College
Yeah.
hoops. We could talk
Wait,
about
did he not make the Pro Bowl at all?
He didn't for the first time maybe the second time in his career.
Wow.
Yeah,
He's not famous anymore. All right, yeah. Pro Bowl special next week.
College
we'll,
hoops
we'll
maybe
have a
too.
dodgeball game for bottom of the 6th. All right,
Yep.
y'all.
Okay, guys, you'll hear us.
Have a good one.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah.